Today's video is a bit different. I'm participating in the Journaling Our Way Hop. I'm joining 6 amazing gals and we are sharing the way that we journal. And after you watch my video, you can hop to the next person's video, which will be Tasha, by clicking on the link in my description box. Hey friends, I'm Lisa, your go-to gal for all things watercolor painting and DIY crafting, and this is Our Gray House. I have a Leuchtturm 1917 journal. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's the 120G edition. And I'm using mine as a combination junk journal and kind of travel life journal, and I'll have it linked below. I've seen some other watercolor artists use this particular edition, so I thought I'd try it out. And I'm not doing random junk in mine, but ephemera related to what the spread is about. And this particular edition is made with premium, extra smooth, low transparency, 120 GSM paper, which is definitely not watercolor paper, but it will take a light wash, and that works for me. And this first spread we're going to work on is a quick sketch of my palette. I actually half sketched and half traced this and I forgot to film that part, so we're off to a rousing start. I spritz my paints with water to activate them, and while this is not a full-on swatch page, I'm swatching the colors to fill in the palette. I have a lot of different palettes, but my favorites are the My Liang palette, a palette that I purchased from Andrea Nelson at adreamerdayart.com, and the ones I have here are my professional grade watercolors by Daniel Smith. I'll have links below, and you can always check out my Amazon page if you're curious about the supplies that I use. This is definitely not watercolor paper, not even close to feeling like cheap or low grade watercolor paper, so just keep that in mind. I wouldn't want the color to be too opaque anyway, as I wouldn't want it to bleed through to the back of the page. But for what I'm doing and what I'm going to use it for, it works great. Again, it's just a light wash. I've wanted to start this type of journal for a while, and when I saw other artists sketch their travel diaries, and then I saw some really cool junk journals, I just thought, wouldn't it be great to combine that, like those two together? And so it's kind of like scrapbooking, but like with a twist. And this journal has a hardcover, so it'll be interesting to see how it kind of holds up. Like some journals get so thick, like they need a bungee cord or something to hold it together, but we'll see. So back to the swatching, which really isn't swatching. I'm not going to label anything because it isn't a true swatch page for me. And then on the other side of the palette, those spaces are called wells, and you typically put paint in them, like to create a puddle or to mix colors, and you can actually just leave it there and let it dry, and then reactivate them later with water to use them again. So since I normally have paint in the wells on my palette, I added some here. Now there's something called Workshop Week that Becca Cortese puts on every year in June, and it's free. It's like 40 plus classes on all kinds of things like watercolor painting, kids art. There's like sketching, mixed media stuff, and you can watch the class and it stays live for 24 hours for free. And you can also buy something called the Vault and have the classes available like whenever you want. And this is not an ad, although it sounds like one, but it's not. But that's where I got this little thing that I'm tracing. That's where I got that from. And my idea was to put the Forget the Perfect in the far left top corner and the Find the Fun in the far bottom right corner, but it just ended up kind of being off center. So, just enough to look like I didn't plan that out very well. But, I should have moved the Find the Fun over more. But anyways, I'm just using a marker now to color in the words. And I really like the look of pen detail. So I'm adding pen detail to the paint palette. And it looks more illustrative to me. And, that's kind of what I like to do. I sped up this part because it's really just me outlining stuff and coloring in stuff. I did want to add some more paint to the wells, and so I did. And I was thinking it just looked a little plain for me. I sketched in some mushrooms, and I was trying to think, I was trying to put like maybe my favorite thing to paint there, And so I was trying to think what are my favorite things to paint. And that's really kind of hard to make like a solid call on that. I do like painting mushrooms a lot. I like galaxy paintings. I like paintings where the water, like the colors bloom together. I like painting whimsical. So yeah, that's kind of what I like to do. So I had a spread that I hadn't finished since like last year. Now, do you have projects like that? Well, here's your sign to know that that is okay. And also you can still finish it if you want to, even if it's from last October like mine is. I volunteer with the State Fair of Texas Youth Livestock Committee, and I have the joy of being around the animals, meeting some really cool kids, and spending some quality time with my sister. Giving back really does feel good, and I enjoy it so much. And this is just a quick little spread that I did. That's a cow that was at the fair, and on this side you might recognize this guy, but let me give you a hint just in case. Howdy folks, welcome to the State Fair of Texas. Okay, well, if you didn't get it, it's big text. And it was kind of hard to sketch, but I'm practicing and learning, so that's what counts. And I mentioned earlier about adding ephemera, and this is an example of what I'm going to do. I just took a visitor's guide from the state fair and I found a section I wanted. I chose the map that shows where we volunteer at, and I just cut it down to size. And I fiddled with it quite a bit. And it's been a while since I put a scrapbook together, and I know I'll get into my rhythm and groove soon enough. And I also added a state fair ticket to get in. Anyway, I felt like it needed a background, so I added that, and I also added some notes to it. And here's a flip through of my book so far. This explore page was my first test of the paper, and I felt like I need to add something to it, but I'm okay leaving it like this for now. And this is my State Fair of Texas 2024 spread. I may add a couple more small things, but we'll see. And finally, my art journey spread. I am super excited to see where watercolor takes me this year, and I look forward to sharing more journal updates with you soon. And don't forget to check out the link down below to TOSHA's channel for her video, and I hope you come back again so we can chat some more. And if you want to follow me on social media, my handle is OurGrayHouse, but just don't follow me in real life though, because that's creepy. Bye!